Hey everybody, and welcome back to Planescape Torment. We are going to continue right where we left off. I just went for like 3 minutes while the microphone wasn't working, so it's very good. So I'm going to do a few things again, but I'm really glad that I noticed it after 3 minutes and not more than that. So we're going to talk to all the people, like this one who says leave and this one who says leave. Oh, wait, this one said something else? Oh, no, not really. But yeah, there's not much that they can say. And then there was, ooh, Angry Hive Dweller. So these have nothing to say to me, but I'm gonna miss. Oh, glance at you again, gives you an ice cold look, then turns away. Miss. She turns again. Leave me be, dog. I'll be jabbing. Calm down. I just have some questions I want to ask. And oh, attack her. No. Let's talk to the Angry Hive Dweller though. I mean, he has a distinction. He's angry. So we also talked to the frightened one last time, and that one helped us. So you see a man in old and tattered clothes. As you approach him, he makes a detour to avoid you and keeps walking. Greetings. The man ignores you, begins to walk. Sir? He turns, glancing briefly to the right and left of you, as if looking to see if you have any friends with you. He draws a dagger. You'd best leave me be, or you'll be wearing this steel between your ribs. Calm down, I just had some questions. He scoffs. I'm sure you do, and I have no answers for the likes of you. Piss off. Farewell then. Okay, never mind. Oh, Ingress. No, Ingress, don't run. No, Ingress, no. Ingress, no, I just want to chat with you. Okay, she's super fast. Portals everywhere. Let's talk to Ingress. You see a haggard woman wrapped in rags. Her hair is disheveled and dirty, and her complexion is extremely dark. Burns cover her arms, and her right hand is a fused lump of flesh. It looks melted, like wax exposed to a great heat.
Updated my journal.
Okay. What is it you want me? The woman's accent is thick, and you are having difficulty making out what she is saying. You want me to leave? Not leaving the city, so I'm not. I can't try it. It's not a city, it's a prison to everywhere. Everywhere? There's worlds, her eyes gleam madly. Plains that be sinking sands, fields thirsty nettles be sightless worlds where your limbs are given life and hate, cities of dust whose people are dust and whisper ash, the house without doors, the twilit lands, the singing winds. She starts to sob quietly, but she seems all out of tears, and shadows, and terrible shadows there be. Where are these places? Where's them places? She flings the lump of her right hand in an arc, gesturing at the cityscape. They's all here, doors here to everywhere. I just made myself some tea, but I made myself fancy tea. Oh, with like this thing. Can you see it in frame? Yes, you can. So I'm just gonna let that, and then take this thing. Oh, 1 second. And then you put this thing on this, and then you put this, on the thing. Am I explaining myself properly? And now I have tea with leaves. That was very clear to everybody. Okay, doors? You're not knowing this? She squints at you, and her teeth start chattering. Tell you I will. Beware every space you walk through or touch in this thrice-cursed city. Doors, gates, arches, windows, picture frames, the open mouth of a statue, the space between shelves. Beware any space bounded on all sides. All those are doors to other places. What do you mean? Well, these are the doors to planes. We talked about this before. Every door has a key, it does, and with this key, they show their true nature. An arc becomes a portal, a picture frame becomes a portal, a window becomes a portal, all eager to take you someplace else. They steal you away. She raises the lump of her right hand, and sometimes what's on the other side takes part of you as a teeth. What are these keys? The keys number as many as the doors of the city. So we've heard this again and again from other people in different ways. Some of them mad, some of them less mad. Every door, a key, every key, a door. Her teeth starts chattering again, as if she is cold. And a key is anything. It may be an emotion, an iron nail held between your second and fifth fingers, a thought three times, a thought 3 times, then thought once in reverse, or it may be a glass rose. And these are all keys that open these doors.
My journal.
Yes, her teeth start chattering, and she clenches her mouth closed and squints her eyes. Yes, Can't leave. Can't leave. How did you get here?
My journal.
From, she seems to calm slightly, and her eyes take on a 1,000-league stare. Came from a place else from here, almost a life ago. Hummed a tune by a glade with 2 dead trees that had fallen together. A brilliant door opened in the space. Tween the crossed trees, showed me this city on the other side. I stepped through, ended here. Why can't you go back? Tried! She tries to sob again, but no tears come. Tried. All doors here lead to other places. She shudders and grips her melted right hand. Went through thrice ten portals, some a purpose, some a accident, none of them right. Can't find way back. There must be a portal that can take you back. Can't even leave here, this square, and there, the place of death behind the gate waits for me. She points at the mortuary behind the gate, then turns back to you, her face desperate. Can't go anywhere in this city. You can't go anywhere, what do you mean? Anything could be a door, any arch there, any door here could be a portal. Don't know the key, could get ascent to another horrible place. Her teeth start chattering again. Got to stay away from the closed spaces. All could be doors, could have a key on me, and I not be knowing it. You're afraid to go any door or arch because it might be a portal? She nods, her teeth chattering. How long have you been afraid of this? She squints. Since the last time I walked through the last portal, the place where my hand, she stops, since my 10th turning. I'm in my 10th turning that now. Her teeth begin chattering again. 4th, 10th turning. I don't know what a turning is. I would assume it's a... If it means a year, then that's 30 years. But I don't know if it's a year. A turning might be a period? So months? I have no idea. Because she's a woman. So I have no idea. 30 years. Oh, the answer's in the text. 30 years. You haven't walked through any door for 30 years. Her vision seems to clear slightly. She looks up at you, her teeth still chattering. Huh. And now I have options other than hear her keep talking. If you got here, there must be a portal that can take you back. It's only a matter of finding it. To be too afraid to walk through any door, that's... How mad are you, woman? You must be a fool to not walk through anything that might be a door. Let's go with the first one because it's the nicest. She smiles. Her teeth aren't chattering because she is cold. They are moving around inside her mouth, her gums twisting as the teeth shift about. They rise and recede as you watch, chattering as they rattle against each other. What? She hisses at you. Only take one portal you step through accident to drive the fear into you. I went through thrice 10, lost my hand, burned my flesh, and lost my sense. She looks at her feet. No more, no more. I'm sorry. If I can find some means to help you, I will.
Updated my journal.
So we do have find a way to help Ingress. I met a madwoman. If I can find an experienced planewalker, perhaps he could guide her home. So basically we want to find someone who is an experienced planeswalker. Cool. Elderly hive dweller. A sense of great loss hangs over this elderly woman like a dark cloak. As you watch her, a long sad sigh escapes her lip. Breathe. Oh god, this tea's good. She looks up at your face, cloudy eyes squinting and straining to see you clearly. Forgive me, young cutter, but I'm an old woman and don't see so well. Do I know you? No. She mulls your answer over a moment, nodding. What was it you wanted then? I had some questions. Questions? Her expression curdles. Oh, no, you're an adventurer, aren't you? That is a nod to literally every RPG ever. Not necessarily, but it feels like it. Name, job, and all that rot? Well, I won't have it. Off with you. I'm not an adventurer. Bar that, the woman jabs her finger at you. I've watched the dustman put the name of me husband, damn his soul, me son, and both me daughters on their memorial, adventurers on all of them. Why, I swung quite a sword myself in the day. So as I know, one when I meet one. The old woman seems to be working herself into a fit. Her face has become flushed and flecks of spittle fly from her lips as she howls at you. Show me more. Let her continue her tirade. Wow, that's some tirade. I'll bet you've got all sorts of barmy questions. She mimics your heroic stance. Greetings, I have some questions. Can you tell me about this place? Who's the Lady of Pain? I'm looking for the magic girdle of Shawhank Iron. Have you seen it? Do you know where a portal to the 2817th plane of the abyss might be? Do you know where the holy flaming frostband gronk slaying vorpal hammer of wounding and returning and shooting lightning out of your bum is? She spits. Dung all of it. Only get you in the dead book. I ought to kick you in the shins for every pestering poor old woman about it all. Now go in, leave me in peace. Yes, this is definitely a nod to exactly that. Hey, do you have a quest for me? I've got some questions about this place, which is essentially what we're doing, but that's kind of how these games kind of go. That is clever and an adorable tirade. I'm really enjoying myself in the dialogue so far. Very good stuff. So the thugs, if we're in sight for a long enough time, they go crazy. Let's try and talk to a Dabus. You see a tall creature with a shock of white hair. Its skin has a greenish cast, and a pair of goat horns protrudes from its forehead. It is dressed in long, flowing robes and appears to be floating slightly above the ground. Greetings. The creature turns to face you, and a series of symbols appear around its head. The symbols have a slight glow about them, and they just hover there. Moat. Oh, for the power's sake, Piking Dabus. What's wrong? He's a Dabus. They speak in rebuses. These annoying word puzzles. If you don't know what he's saying, then we better find a native or some other way to communicate with him, if we want to. An annoying bunch. My bet they can speak, they just would rather piss everyone else off by trying to puzzle out what they're saying. What's a Dabus? Chant is they're just janitors for the Lady of Pain. They float around breaking, fixing, and patching up Sigil according to her whims. They're worse than corpse flies, mort size. You can't swat them, though, or the lady will get upset. Lady of Pain, who's that? She runs the city. You'll know when you see her. She's got these blades around her face. She's about the size of a giant, and she floats off the ground, just like these guys. Mort nods at the Dabus, who is looking at you both. Nobody knows much about her. She doesn't speak much. All you need to know is that you don't want to make her angry. If you see her, my advice, run. The Dabus waits patiently, his hands tucked into its sleeves. A series of symbols materialize above its head, then they vanish, and a question mark appears. That's cute. Can you translate what he's saying for me, Mort? I'd sooner be straying through a Tenerari's bowls than unravel what these floating goat heads are trying to say. You want a translator? Find a Sigil native. The Dabus waits patiently. Let's go for it. Try and strike up a conversation. See if you can translate what the Dabus is saying. Whoa, just get 1,000 experience just by trying. You ask the Dabus several questions, trying to get a feel for the rebuses that appear above its head. It is extremely patient throughout your discussion, giving you easy sentences to translate. That's very nice of him. After a few minutes, you start to get the hang of it. It feels like you've done this before. Maybe you can help me. The Dabus waits. Who are you? The Dabus inclines its head slightly, and a stream of symbols appear above its head. I am a Dabus. I had another question for you. What are you doing here? I attend to my duties. Very descriptive. Thanks, farewell. I had questions. Can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? A lone symbol appears above the Dabus's head. This one shows a metallic female mask with blades coming out of the sides. Just looking at the ghostly image makes you uncomfortable. I had another question. Farewell. The Dabus bows slightly, symbols twirling around its head, then it turns away. Okay, so just by trying to talk to him, we did something. This is, okay, I gotta say I really like this. That's why I want to pause on this for a second. So, we just talked to the Dabus, and he didn't have anything interesting to say to us, but just the fact that the interaction is interesting because this character is interesting, and the way that they speak is interesting. I'm assuming it's because of our level of, I want to say intelligence, might be wisdom, but intelligence of wisdom is high enough for us to try and understand what he's saying, and we get experience for this. Experience for just the nature, just exploring around us. It didn't actually give us anything. It was pure exploration and wonder at the world and world building, really. And we got experience for it. And that is, unfortunately, extremely unique in games. And I assume one of the reasons why people value this game so highly, because I was told that you actually can do very little up to 0, I'm not exactly sure, fights in the entire game. I mean, you kind of have to fight a zombie right at the beginning. I wonder if there's a way to bypass that as well. But fight a zombie, attack it, and it's a zombie. But this is really cool. Like, we just explored, and we had some world building, and we got experience for that. That's so cool, and I can't emphasize that enough. This game's good. Good. And we're just getting started. Okay, so we actually went around here. We talked to the Dabus. We ran around after Ingress. There's the elderly who doesn't really care. We can go around here because this is inside. It's inside, but it's not like an area transition. Wall has 1,000 names carved into it. Oh, right, this is the people were guarding this area. This obsidian monument has names chiseled into it. Okay, so, Quentin. Sorry, take a sip. The man before you looks to be middle of height and years. He is stout with a thick, bullish neck, and his shoulders are hunched, as if a great weight was pressing upon them. He wears an impatient look as he stares at the black monolith in front of him. Greetings. The man throws you a glance. There's room, Cutter. No need to ask me to leave to stand here. Actually, I wanted to know what the monolith was. It's a tombstone for the plains, he scoffs. Graveyards of names are scratched on that rock. Can only hope my name's the one that'll split this stone in twain. He points at the base of the monolith. Quentin, right here, right there, hammered in just hard enough to send the damn thing crashing down. Tombstone for the plains. Aye, Quentin smiles ruefully. The Dusties scratch the names of the dead on this monument here. He gestures around him and on the walls of this place. Not enough space, by my reckoning, but no matter. They do their best, can barely read half the names. What are you doing here? Reading the new arrivals. Try and find a new one every day. Try and remember if I knew him. Nothing more. Did Dustmen record the names of all that have died on this monument? Aye, they scratch him on this rock. They scratch him on the walls in this place, too. I don't know why they take the trouble to take a counting of the dead. The Dusties have more care for the living. The living? Aye, you know about the Dustman mourners that come to this place? They aren't mourning the dead, see, they're mourning the living. You can barely get a word in them edgewise without them asking to mourn some poor living Burke for you. Why do they mourn the living? You got me there, Cutter, he shrugs. Might want to put that question to them. Seems to me that they are dead. The dead are thrice worth the pity of any poor sod living in this pit. He nods at the monument. Every name on there is blessed in my book, it is. Ever know anyone who came back after their name was put on there? You mean come back from death? Quentin shakes his head. Not a one, Cutter. Everything that lives dies, and that's the way of things, he shrugs. Still, considering the plains go on forever and all, I suppose anything's possible. I suppose so. Say, I had some other questions for you. No harm in asking, Cutter. Can you tell me what this monument is again? What are you doing here? Okay, he said that already. And then we go back around. Ever know anybody who came back and the name was carved? Oh, we actually just asked all the questions. Now it's a glossary. Sevdai. It looks like a bug man. The woman, it's a female, okay. The woman's face looks broken, and she's covered in scars. They look like bite marks and fingernail cuts. She is cradling the shreds of several rags in her hand and is staring emptily at the wall of the monument at the names there. Get back at you, the woman teeth peel back, displaying a row of black canines. What do you want of Sevtai? What's the matter? What's wrong? Those Chaos men wrecked my cart, attacked me, and killed 3 of my sisters who tried to stop them. Not sisters anymore. Now they're nothing but names on this memorial wall. Chaos men? Chaos men, a faction, they say. What they are is an addled bunch that runs wild through the hives and does whatever they please. We never did no harm to them. Then they lop in like dogs and tear apart anything within their reach. Who are these Chaos men who attacked you? They're a hiver gang, a bunch of addled sods that call themselves the Starved Dogs Barkin, or some such barmy nonsense. I wouldn't mind penning some men in the dead book for some coin. You got the copper? We'll talk terms. Their actions were unjust. If you wish, I can see that the matter is rectified. If 3 deaths are caused, then 3 deaths shall these starved dogs suffer. So I don't really want to fight stuff, but I guess this is a very straightforward thing. I don't have to do it. I'm just gonna go with 2 because I'm going super nice, and I'm not going for coin. I'm just going super nice. A copper earring is in your purse if you pen 3 of those murdering sods in the dead book. Jig, I'll see to it that they're put in the dead book. Can you tell me where they might be found? I'm thinking if just taking this quest is already pinning me to do this. I'll have to fight them, which I will try not to do. Let's see. Go out the south gate, spire ward from here, then walk around the block until you comes to a place where men run in circles, howling at the sig sky. That's the Starved Dogs, they are. I've been to that block. It's the one with all the harlots and drunks south of here. I'll go there and return from later, wasn't it? Journal. And now I got helps FT get her revenge. Yeah. We'll see. Then there is this dog, and there's these hive thugs. And if I just go close to them, If I'm just like close to them, they'll attack me. But let's see. Hey guys, what's going on? Can I talk to them? Greetings. The man looks at you. Farewell, and they attack. They just attack you. Yeah. Don't talk to that. Don't do that. Okay, so we went in here. Death of Nymphs. Oh, didn't see you before. Did I just miss him? You see a dustman with a crooked smile frozen on his face. Despite the smile, his eyes are as dull as stones. His right arm is shorter than the left, and he keeps it tucked to his side, as if cradling a small child. Greetings. Slide over you. Name. The way he speaks the word, it sounds like a tolling of a bell. I don't know. No name, can't help you. The dustman speaks in a curious sing-song voice. Need to give a name if you want to see where it's died.
Updated my journal.
Give it a name when you're born. Give it back when you need it no more. Death of names. Death of names. His eyes swim across the monolith, then the walls of the area. Buried many names here. Death of names has. Tell me a name, I'll show you its grave. Dionera. His eyes roll to the back of his head, then pop back. With a wild gleam, his eyes run across the walls of the monument, scanning the names at inhuman speed. He then points to a section of the wall. Buried. Examine the spot he's talking about. Chiseled in the black stone, a tiny cramped writing is the name you requested. It is almost lost beneath the sea of names around it. I had another name. Once again, his eyes seem to slide over you. Name, the way he speaks the words, sound like a tolling of a bell. I'd like to... Okay, let's ask for doll. He shakes his head. Not dead yet. The name is not buried here. Not time. Not time. Can you bury a name for me? He nods, then unfolds a small hand from where it is cradled on his side. It looks atrophied. It is the size of a child's hand. Cost chink to bury a name. 3 coppers. 3. Quentin? No name today. I am super interested. So we can put... Quentin wanted something, so maybe we can do this, but it was just in conversation. So I kind of want to make a new save. Try to bury Quentin. I want a muffin. I got a muffin. Happy birthday. Girlfriend has birthday, so she made muffins. I think I should make muffins for her. I have muffins, but yeah, we gotta play stuff, so... Take a bite of a muffin. It's good. There's banana. I have a muffin. Greetings. Adan? He shakes his head. Not dead yet. That name is not buried here. So, let me try. Can you bury a name for me? Quentin. He shakes his head. Not dead yet. That name is not buried here. Not time. Can I kill him? Can I kill him and then say that and then do that? Like, that'll be so weird. Let me try another name. I'd like to bury a name. Dionera. Buried. Okay. So, Doll. Not shakes his head. Very well, sorry. Let me try another name. No. Very well, sorry to disturb you. There's nothing we could really do. At least right now. Sorry to disturb you. Farewell. I want to eat my muffin, but I need to play games. No, muffins are perfect. Everything is fine. This is good. Where are we going? Okay, so we went all the above area. Angry Hive. Oh, the post. We never talked to the post. Let's talk to the post. This filthy-looking corpse is in sad shape. Its shoulders are slumped and one of its legs is broken, causing it to lean to one side. Stains cover it from head to toe. Judging from the smell and the texture, the stains run from rotting fruit to mud and bird droppings. To add to the indignity, graffiti has been carved into its body, and several notices have been nailed into its chest, back, and head. I thought I was in bad shape. Don't all these nails hurt? Of course, it's a corpse, so it makes no response. Examine the corpse. Despite the many stitches, the corpse's rotting skin is peeling in several places, revealing long stretches of muscle and bone. You'd gaze that this zombie is frequently used as target practice. The fruit and mud stains aside, some of the tears in its skin still have rocks and bits of glass lodged in them. One wicked-looking cobblestone is still embedded in the side of its head. Examine the graffiti notices. A number of the leaflets have been ruined by rain, but some of them are still legible. One tucked tacked to his back is from something called the Office of Vermin and Disease Control. The one on his forehead looks like a bill of fare for a restaurant. One on his chest looks like an official notice, and another appears to be some sort of want ad. Look at the posts. Ignore the notices. No. Vermin and Disease Control. To those hive citizens wishing gained employ with the most honorable and generous sigil government, inquire forthwith at Office of Vermin and Disease Control to help stem plague of brain rats. Bounties paid. Copper given for each rat tail brought. Tails must be genuine and from rat only, not cat, dog, or fiend tail accepted. Office several streets south and west of Mortuary Gate. In Lower Hive, ask for official inspector in charge, the respected Phineas T. Lord. And that's a really high number. Other notices. Show more. Bill of fare. Someone has posted a bill of fare for the Gathering Dust Bar, but the bill of fare cannot be read as the word Smoldering Corpse Bar has been scrawled in charcoal over that. Smoldering Corpse Bar? The zombie immediately jerks its left arm upward and points far to the southeast. A moment later, the arm falls back to its side with a thump. Oh, reminds me of a job I once had. He seemed embarrassed. Well, I mean, without the arms. I wonder if this will work with the other notices. A number of leaflets have been ruined by rain, but some of them... Okay. Examine the official notice. Public notice. By the order of the Judiciary Council and in accordance with the citizenry of Citadel, let it be known that those defacing a registered servant of the Dustmen, either by graffiti, malicious attack, or by posting notices, will constitute felonious assault, and their perpetrator will be answerable for the vandalism of said servant by order of the Hall of Speakers. Examine the other notices. Want ad. Wanted, able-bodied person, that's me, willing to investigate a matter of the utmost importance to the Dustman cause, will offer suitable compensation about successful completion of said task. Interested parties require with initiate Gathering Dust Bar. Gathering Dust Bar. Zombie immediately jerks its left arm upwards and points west to the building before you. A moment later, arms falls back. Other notices. I think we read everything. Examine the graffiti, though. The graffiti runs from obscenities about the Dustman to slogans glorifying what appears to be local gangs. One piece of graffiti catches your eye. Someone has carved the name Farad over the corpse's left arm, then slashed an X across it. Farad?
Updated my journal.
Aha! The zombie immediately jerks its left arm upwards and points to the west and downwards. A moment later, the arm falls back. Aha! I'm going... Oh... I'm not, there's no pause for me eating. I kind of stuck to the thing. But it's tasty. Okay. Done. Yeah. Thank you. Muffin break. Cupcake break. Muffin or cupcake? Muffin break. Very important. Okay. Thanks. We're done. Okay. That was the post. Let's talk to Anna. Did we talk to her yet? Sorry, done. You see a striking red-haired girl dressed in leather armor. Her right arm is covered with a series of interlocking plates that look as if they were taken from the skin of some creature. And an horned shoulder piece protects her left arm. Oddly enough, she has a tail that is flicking back and forth as you watch Pike off. I need a... Okay. Greetings. The girl ignores you. Who are you? The girl sneers, then makes an obscene gesture with her tail. Pike off, you clueless sod. Hey, easy, it just had some questions. And what is it you want? I can't help but notice that you have a tail. Do I now? The girl looks at her tail. So I do! And here I was thinking it was a trick of me eye. My, aren't you a sharp cutter, she bares her teeth. Why don't you piss off to whatever hole you crawled out of and leave me be? Me nor me tail is for a trade, Jake. I don't know why I went Irish there, or Scottish, or one of, and if any Irish or Scottish person hears me say that, they'll want to kill me, but you know. Alright, I was just it's just as well neither you nor your tail are for sale. You couldn't squeak out a living with them anyways. What are you about, you blighter? Say it again. He didn't say anything, but I'm still curious. Why do you have a tail? The girl's eyes narrow to slits. Are you daft? Can it be that you're dumber than stone, or mayhap you have the power of ignorance? May the Davis break you over and make you a street? Look, she's a tiefling, chief. They got some demon's blood in them, and that makes them paranoid and defensive. Nice tale, though. Shame it's plastered to such an ugly body. Whoa, now. You better let your bone box, you fool-mouthed mimer, for I splits it from your jaw. Jake? Why don't you try and split my jaw, chit? All I'm hearing is a lot of chatter with some hive trash. Throw a punch. I dare you. I'll bite your legs off. Enough. Aye, that's right. Lish you, Mimer Todd, or I'll bury him with this body. Jig? Mimer? What are you talking about? Aye, Mimer. What, the gulf between your ears so wide me words echo? Idiot? I don't even... I gotta say them... their accents are like really... I mean, I need to read them and it's kind of tough. You still haven't answered my question. What's a mimer? Mimer's a talking encyclopedia. That's me, Chief. All right, you said that before. Then sneers. I guess I know which of ya has the brains, eh? Yeah, look, I had some other questions. Aye, and what is it you want? Can you tell me where I am? You're lost, but you're about to find trouble. Make yourself lost somewhere else. Bubba. I had some other questions. I'm looking for someone named Fraud. Do you know where I can find him? Aye, I might say more if you sweeten the question, aye? She clicks her tongue and rubs two fingers together. Jink, jink, aye? Jink, jink, she means money. Oh. Aye, she glances. What the skull said. Hard coin. I know you have anything I want to hear, but try me. Then I'll decide whether it's worth it. Let's be nice. All right, how much? How much is it to you to know? She studies you, then folds her arms. Come on, I haven't got all day. Turn on the charm. How about 10? Oh, turn on the charm. 2 dots. If your information is good enough, it could be more. How about 10? Aye, and I immediately lose it. Okay, all right. She pockets the money. It's gone so quickly, you have no idea where it vanished to. Look for him in the alley spiraled from the mortuary. Then to the south and west of the mortuary. Aye? Very well. I have some other questions. Well, I knew that, so I didn't really need to spend that. I'm missing a journal. Have you seen one? Nay. Yeah. I just wasted 10. Do I now? Okay, and then they go off on a tangent. Can I just press L? Okay. Okay, that was like completely not useful to talk to, but I wanna... Who are you? Easy. Have a tail. I like this exchange. Why do you have a tail? Look. Okay, because I learned a lot of stuff. Mimer. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Farewell. Okay, no, these thugs. Okay, these thugs will just attack me. Love you too, babe. So we don't want to go over there. Pox is here. And then we can go down. We talk to Anna. These are just a dustman. Probably has nothing to tell us. Some questions. Robes. Have you seen one? Generic front for Rod. There's a gathering dust. Okay. Then there's harlots everywhere. And there's nothing much over here. Oh, there's a thug. Get out of here. Don't like thugs. Don't want to fight anybody. Okay. So I think we're kind of done with finding stuff. There's dabasses everywhere. So we can go to this open tomb. This is where we came out of. This is the mortuary. So let's go around like this way. To the southern portion of the hive. And then gathering dust. We went to the mortuary. This is Shalandra's Keep, which I don't know what that is. Northern Mausoleum. Oh, so we kind of want to go to the Mausoleum first because it seems like it's not another alley or something like that. So we're going to do House, Gathering Dust Bar, which is probably a very interesting location. And actually, let's do Shalandra's Keep. I don't know, Kip. Which might be interesting as well. I'd start here. Small dwelling. Nothing to pick up, just talk to Engyar. The man looks haunted. His eyes are half-lidded, as if he has trouble sleeping, and his hair is long and unkempt. His beard is flecked with bits of dead skin and old bits of food. He doesn't seem to notice as you approach. Greetings. The man glances up at the sound of your voice and his slack expression vanishes. It looks like someone has lit 2 fires in his eyes. What your be business bargain into me house? His eyes narrows and his teeth clench. Get, or I'll send you back to wherever grave you crawled from. Go ahead and try. Okay. No one speaks to me that way. Take back your words, or this house will become your crypt. Let's go with calm down. Calm yourself. I have some questions. The man face turns blood red, and he begins shouting, "Are you daft?" With a snarl, he spits at your feet. "You filthy, scar-ridden dog. Off with you, or even the powers won't be able to save you. Go ahead and try. Farewell, then." That's it. You've earned your place in a grave. The man throws a parting shot at your back. "You'd best never cross my door again, you wretched stinking beard. Leave without another word." Is she coming to talk to us? No. Can I talk to her? This woman looks to be in her middle years, and her hair has streaks of gray running through it. Lines of worry crisscross her face. As she sees you, she seems torn between asking you to leave and calling for the man at the table. "Greetings." You'd best leave, for I call me husband. He won't take kindly to you having barged your way into our home. If you're going to call him, you would have done so already. Calm down, I just had some questions. She glances towards her husband, worry in her eyes. I have not the time, stranger. Do not be troubling me with such things." "Excuse me, are you all right?" "Me?" She seems surprised. "Oh, I. She lowers her voice. "You'd best leave. My husband has not been himself of late. You'd best not provoke him with your presence." "I spoke with him. He seems troubled. What's wrong with him?" "He's been out of sorts of late. A touch of cough, maybe." She gives an unconvinced half shrug. "What's really wrong with him?" I think he's done something he regrets." Her worried expression melts into despair. "I think he signed one of the dead contracts. I cannot imagine what possessed him to do such a foolish thing." "Dead contracts?" "The dead, the dustmen, have contracts that give them the right to somebody's body after they die." "What do the dustmen do with the body?" "That I already know. Animate it with their black magics, turn it into one of the walking dead, make it a worker till," she looks at it, "till he rots away." "Why did your husband sign such a thing? Why?" He may have been goat eager to bring home some more jink than custom. He's a prideful, but I think he's hurt himself more by doing so." "That's unfortunate. I have some questions. Can this contract be undone?" She looks at you surprised, then sighs. I've spoken to the dustman he did the signing with, but he's cold and chill, like all the dusties. He even lectured me on me husband, as if I had no right to try and help him." Her lips become a tight, thin line, as if picturing the dustman's face. "He was cold, cruel, he was." "Let me see what I can do. Who was the dustman that your husband signed the contract with?" Thus he calls himself Gravesend. Really? I know not his first name. He was a table at the dustman bar in the Hive, gathering dust. Yeah. I believe the place is named. You can find him trying to get you more people to sign his contract. I'll seek him out then. Where is the Gathering Dust bar?
My journal.
I know. Head out. Very well, I'll see what I can do. I won't turn away such a friendly gesture. She seemed grateful, and her worried expression returns. But I must ask you not to let on I asked you to do such a thing. Me husband has a terrible temper, and if you find out, she shudders. Lie or vow? I can't make any promises. We'll have to see what happens. I'm gonna be honest. Then I ask you to keep as quiet as you can about the matter. Very well. I'm in dialog mode. Now I'm in dialog mode. Okay. So we'll try to do that, and we'll see. So I'm very happy that we went here before going to the bar. But let's do one more and go like circling around instead of going to the right side here because it has thugs. But I do want to go in here without fighting these guys. So, okay. Small dwelling. Shalandra, I think the spell goes something like this. She's just walking around, and I gotta say, I do love the very appropriate outfits to some of the women. Can we steal things without any consequence? There's nothing in here. We can open stuff that have nothing in them. Blast! I almost had it that time. Don't you know it's dangerous to interrupt spellcasters while they are evoking a spell? Luckily for you, I was only practicing. Well, what is it you want? My apologies for disturbing you. Farewell. Oh, I literally can't say anything else. Maybe later. Okay then. That was great.
Done.
Oh, come on! Don't do that.
Done.
Well, at least I guess I didn't save beforehand. Immediately they want to fight. It's so stupid. Hive tout. Oh, we already talked to them. To her. Okay. We're going in.
Chief, what are we doing in here?
You, stranger, speak with me for a second. There are a lot of people awaiting death.
I'm gone.
Old Copper Eyes. Alright, I'm gonna make a big save before starting to talk to people here because holy crap, there's a lot. Dusty's bar time. Let's go top to bottom. Actually, let's go around first. Skeleton Worker, Emmerich, Zombie Bodyguards. Can we look for stuff in here? There's nothing. These gates are made of fearless black metal. That sounds like a genre. There doesn't appear to be any way to open them. Zombie Worker, Dustman, Zombie Worker. And over there's probably nothing as well. But I will check. Oh, yay, rags. Got some rags. Dispense their contents into wooden kegs. These are faint smell of vinegar in the air. I got some rags. That looks useful. Pen's note. Oh right, wait, that's we didn't actually get anything more useful than these. So let's do top to bottom. So, awaiting death. Before you is a young dustman with stubble on his chin and dark circles beneath his eyes. He's staring at the wall with a somber expression. Greetings. The dustman doesn't look up. He stares straight ahead as if he's seeing something several leagues beyond the wall of the bar. Can I ask you some questions? Doesn't respond. Alrighty then. Mort hisses at you. Let's go, Chief. This dusty might as well be a fertilizer. Fair enough. As you turn to leave, Desmond suddenly speaks, his voice barely a murmur. You have to strain to hear the words. You think he said something about wanting to die. What did you say? The boy's expression does not flinker. Do you want to die? Truth. Lie. I really don't know. Do you want to die? Yes. Why? This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue this charade any longer. His face wrinkles in disgust. Why would anyone wish to remain in this foul city in the center of a multiverse that feeds on pain and hatred? Death is silent, comforting. Surely living cannot be as bad as you make it out to be. This is living? He bares his teeth and his hands clench. This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue this charade any longer. Okay. Trust me, it's not. Oh, okay. The boy seems irritated. And how do you know that? I don't know. I've yet to see what lies beyond death and remember it. If I die again, perhaps then I could speak of it. The dustman blinks. You lie. No man can die more than once, not without being resurrected by mighty magics. Resurrected? Resurrected, brought back to life. The magic required is indeed powerful. Who would be capable of such power? A powerful sorcerer or priest, or one of the powers, but not anyone I know. He frowns. And I don't believe you know anyone of that sort either. You don't believe I can't die? Try and kill me then, see what happens. If I die and remember, I will return and speak of it to you. Then you may gauge whether I lie or not. Actually, would love to do that. Greetings. And then he says yes. Why do you want to? I kind of just want to make it out to be. I don't know. I've yet to see what lies beyond death. If I die again, resurrected. And then you don't believe I can die? Try and kill me and see what happens. He looks at you skeptically. Nay, I think not, even if I felt the urge to do so. Then I should force you to watch me. I'll show you what death holds. What do you mean? He looks like he wants to turn away, but he cannot. You can't seriously. Take your hands, twist your neck. Did I save? I saved. Your vision slowly returns. Your death felt different this time. You see awaiting death standing above you. He looks horrified and fascinated. He has propped you into a chair and is looking apprehensively at the other bar patrons. They don't appear to have noticed or mistaken you for a drunk. Convinced now? Are you one of the walking dead? No. Then what are you? I don't know, but I die and am reborn. Yet, you still feel? Yes. To be dead and still think and feel? I feel, will misery never leave a body be? You thought this seemed to horrify him. Even death is no release. Indeed, perhaps you should not be so quick to abandon this life before knowing what the next life holds for you. The boy falls silent, thinking. Eventually he turns back up to you. Your words carry weight, sir, and a fresh perspective. I will do as you have said. That is all I ask. Live, grow old, and learn. Farewell. 500 experience. Feels like I just like taught a teenager or something, but the fact that I needed to do that with dying is kind of weird. It was my pleasure for a while. Yeah. Okay, cool. 500 experience for doing something for suicide and that had no meaning. This game is weird. Old Copper Eyes. Before you use a tall, how long have you been going? Yeah, we can talk to everybody here. We're 44 minutes. I mean, as long as my voice holds up. My voice is tired, but okay. Before you is a tall, silent figure. He could easily pass for a statue, although the deep furrows in his face and brow makes you wonder if the sculpture was a little too eager in defining the face with a chisel. He looks well over 50 years old, but exactly how much over 50, it's hard to tell. As he slowly turns to look at you, you catch the dull sheen of copper in his eyes. So what you're saying is, he's old, and his eyes are copper. I wonder what his name is. Greetings. Old Copper Eyes stares at you. His eyes are difficult to make out past the black well of his eye sockets, but they look to have a coppery sheen about... Yeah, we got that! You don't have to repeat it. Ask a question. Never mind. Cool. Great talk. Great talk. I love the fact that the description. Wanted to talk to us about something? Yeah, let's go around. Let's talk to Emmerich first. You seem lost, sir. Keys and specific bodies. A number of the bones are held together with leather straps. Green tonic hangs from the shoulders. Great talking to you. Stay healthy. Zombie bodyguard. Alright, don't say anything. Okay, don't say anything. Don't do anything later. Huh? Mort staring at you. Huh? What is it? Did you see the way the cadaverous beauty was staring at me? Please don't start this again. Becomes self-aware. I don't really mind the attention, actually. It's just that I like to be seen as something more than just a skull, you know? I have feelings that go beyond my base animal instincts. I want courtship, not some Fortnite fling around the mausoleum. Keep it up and I'm going to fling you somewhere. You are a skull. Nobody can help see you as a skull, except that... Yeah, well, I may be just a skull, but I've got a big heart. Actually, you don't have one of those. What? Were you dumped into my life to spite on my dreams and aspirations? Fine, be that way. I don't have a heart, but I do have a soul. Well, actually, I'm betting you do... Forget it, let's go. Okay, that was amusing. Zombie worker... Yeah, there's nothing to these. Yeah. Okay, let's talk to Emmerich. Who wants... You look lost. You see a heavy-set man with dark skin and grim features. He is dressed in dustman robes and is regarding you with a stony gaze. Greetings. You have the look of one lost. The man's voice is like stone settling. Did the wind send you, or are you here with purpose? Who are you? I am Emmerich, factotum, an initiate of the First Circle. Is this your bar? If you measure ownership in copper, this is not my establishment. If you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. He pauses, as if trying to emphasize a point. The dustmen here are my students. They are under my protection. Can I ask you some questions? Emmerich waits. Is this your bar? Can I ask you some questions? Can you tell me about the dustman faction? Dustmen seek the true death. Some call it oblivion, but this is incorrect. The dustmen, the true death, is freedom from the chains of this false life. This life that may cling to with their emotions is a false existence. As long as one clings to it, they will continually be reborn into it. One must divest themselves of emotion to escape this cycle. I see. Can you tell me about how your faction is organized? Dustmen are organized into 5 circles. The 5th circle is made of the lowest rank of dustmen, initiates. The 1st circle is comprised of the highest rank dustmen, the ruling body of our faction. Would like to join. Oh wait, no, I pressed 2. I'd like to join. If you desire to join, it will hear your request. Yes, I desire to join the Dustman faction. Slightly scared of doing this because it might mean stuff. I have no desire to join the Dustman faction. I really believe that what the Dustmen believe. Interesting. Very well. Do you know our philosophy? I withdraw my request to join. I have some other questions. Yes. Recite it. The goal of all Dustmen is to reach a true death, oblivion, blah, blah, blah. Escape this cycle. I just said what he said. Truth. Yes. Truth. Not entirely. Belief may come with time's passing. Is your conviction so strong that our philosophy shall never have a home in your mind? I'd like to put my uncertainty to time's test. I will spend time among the dustmen, then examine my beliefs. I don't think, believe in your philosophy. I withdraw my request, add some other questions, then examine my beliefs. Then it shall be tested. Speak with Initiate Norosh. He is here in the bar. Return when you have done what he has asked for. I'll speak with him. I have some questions first, though. I don't know if joining the Dustmen, like, there's multiple factions, and joining any one of them will mean that I can't join the others, or any kind of interplay in any of these meanings. I have no idea. But let's go. I don't know what it means. If I really shouldn't do this, please let me know. But that's only that. Only it's like ruins the game or something. It shouldn't. Never mind. I've come in search of a journal. Very well, I have some other questions. Then Farad, I've seen him. Collector, Waidu, whatever. I wish to speak with him, as do I. Why do you want to speak with him? Tell me more about the body. I've heard all of this before. I just wanted to know where... Perhaps I could find out where the bodies are from. I would check them for out and ask him. Very well. I will... where the bodies are where they brings the bodies from. Tell me where it is. Very well. Bye. Cool. So we talked to Emmerich. Now we have Mortal Gravesend. Mortai? Mortai Gravesend. And then Norochi's. Oh, and there's Seri the Skeptic. Cool. This tiny wizened man is dwarfed by his used dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. Although he looks to be in his late 90s, this man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously, and his eyes dart around the bar like a bird's. The man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure, and he gives a slight nod and greeting. Hail and well met, traveler. You look like one who is just getting their sigil legs about them. He trails off. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. Possibly. Are you certain it was me? Maybe I was mistaken. Mortai shakes his head. Well, no matter. How is it that Mortai Gravesend may help you? Do you seek, he collects his tongue, the contract, perhaps? Contract? The contract, why, it is but a simple transaction. From the depth of his huge robe, Mortai pulls forth a dusty parchment and a quill pen. I give you 50 commons. In return, after death, the Dustman faction may claim your remains. He smiles, then clucks his tongue. What use will you have for them at that point anyway? What did the Dustman do with my body? What does it matter? No consequences when you pass on. It matters to me. Well, if you must know, oftentimes nothing is done with the body, and it is we, the Dustmen, who have wasted all the money. More fools us. Roger gives a light smile and looks apologetic. But rarely there are times when the workers on the mortuary need to be replaced, and then we may have a need. You mean I'll be animated as a corpse and put to work in the mortuary? That doesn't sound good. But no harm is done, no pain. Raises a finger as if to emphasize the point, and there is no danger. In exchange for money you can spend in this life, you merely have to give us something you will have no need of once you have died. To have to change, I signed the contract myself, if you must know. I shall have no need of my body when it passes. True, very well, I'll sign. For now I have some other questions. For a number of reasons. I don't think you can help me very well. Okay, I'll sign. Excellent. I mean, it's just getting 50 money for me right now. Excellent. Overjoyed with a thin smile, he places a dusty sheet of parchment and quill and pen in front of you. You shall not regret it. He jabs his finger at 3 points on the page. Sign here, here, and here, and our transaction is concluded. Sign there, there, and there. You show more emotion than any Dustman I've met. Smiles turn cold. I trust you meant no offense, sir. I did not. Is there a problem? Oh my, yes. Too much passion, too much emotion prevents one from reaching the true death. To be passionate runs contrary to the philosophy of our faction. True death. I've already seen that. Of course, of course. Are you the one who signed the dead contract with Anya? Mortuary friends look puzzled. Mayhap, he thinks for a moment. I do not recall the name, however. I would like to settle that contract. Mortuary looks wary. I'm afraid that is impossible. The contract is signed, settled, and binding. The contract is tearing the man's lives apart. That is indeed unfortunate, but it is now a matter of law, not a matter of the heart. The contract is causing men distress. It is possible that he may not even be able to approach the true death with such emotions churning in his mind. Oh. Choose it over for a moment. It looks like you've negotiated him into a corner. I cannot. It is a matter of law, my friend. Besides, the burden lies upon the signer to overcome his own feelings in order to reach the true death. I cannot... So what you're saying is that you'll deny him the true death for the sake of a piece of parchment? Bluff, truth? I suggest you hand over the contract or I'll butcher you where you stand. No. Bluff or truth? I like the fact that you can say the same thing. Be a lie or truth. That's adorable. Mortary sighs and holds up his hand to placate you. Look, it is not how you are making it out to be. You obviously hold the philosophy of the dustman in contempt to damn a man's soul over a piece of paper. Do other members of the faction know of your contract in this regard? If not, they soon will. Mortary glares at you for a moment, opens his mouth, closes it, then opens it. By the 9 hells, wait here. He drops his voice to a whisper, and keep your bone box latched. He gives an angry scowl and stomps off. Wait. A few seconds later, he returns. He is holding a dusty piece of parchment, which he gives to you. Here. He sniffs disdainfully. All for a man's peace of mind. Now be gone and nettle me with your preaching no longer. Ah, he frowns as you approach. Actually, you know what? Let's... He has a strange expression and turns to leave. Forgive me, I must ask again. Are you sure we haven't met before? I do not recall you. Well, no matter. Yes, farewell. Mortary studies you as you leave. Something about that one. Okay, I'm gonna quick save and then talk to him about the contract. Contract? It matters to me. I'm animated. True, very well, I'll sign. Let's do it. And we gained experience. You take the quill. Quill pen makes a strange scritching noise as it touches the parchment like a dagger writing on steel. Blah, blah, blah. As you try to sign the parchment, however, you notice that it seems to be shifting beneath your pen. No matter how hard you try, you can't seem to sign your name. The contract seems to shift from being a dusty piece of parchment to something alive? Mortai? What's with this contract? When you glance up to speak to Mortai, you see his face has been replaced with that of a grinning skull. The rest of the bar seems to stop. The patrons falling silent, freezing like statues. Mortai opens his mouth and a wisp of dust trails from inside the skull. Mortai? With the rasp of death's head speaks, dust gleaming from its teeth. Sign, but remember everything has its price. And what can change the nature of a man? The words are ragged, dead chorus, as if being spoken by 5, 10, 20, 100 voices. Old, young, female, male, desperate, calm, hysterical. Nature of a man? As you speak the words, suddenly you feel faint, and the next thing you hear is Mortai's voice, normal, and his hand upon your shoulder. Sir, are you alright? He laughs uneasily. I thought I'd lost you for a moment. Try and get your bearings. It is as if time has exhaled and resumed its normal, natural breathing. The rest of the bar has returned to normal, and Mortai's face is no longer a death's head. You feel a strange pressure inside your skull, as if something desperately wishes to surface but cannot. The experience with the death's head that spoke dust. It was as if you remembered a dozen splinters of memories at once. All this stabbing into each other to create an image. And you know, somehow, that every voice the dead head spoke belonged to someone now long dead. Just give me a moment. Mordai removes his hand from your shoulder. He looks uneasy, more at the prospect of losing a customer than any concern for your welfare. As you stare at the dusty parchment upon the table, you know for a fact that this is not the first time you have penned your name to a contract, and perhaps not the first time you have signed one such as his. Sign. But remember, everything has its price. And what can change the nature of a man? I'm not going to sign. Hold off. I have some other questions first. I know nothing about journal. I'll deal with documentation as much of a different sort. Okay. That sounds very interesting. So there's something trying to prevent me from, not prevent me, it allows me, but it warned me beforehand because of the nature of the way that I work, you know, that I can't die. Very interesting. No clue what it means, betting a bunch of people who do are like snickering right now. It's like, ho 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 ho. But that's awesome. More talkings. I just want to make a big save for some reason. I feel like I want to. And we'll talk to him in a second. Let's talk to Sari the Skeptic, which I'm assuming her name's Sari, and she's skeptical. As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. La, look who's come a-calling on Seri today, Death's dearest son. She looks at you up and down and then shakes her head in disbelief. But every power and its mother, boy. What crypt did you crawl out of? Actually, the one over there. Because there's yeah, technically. I'm fresh from the mortuary, actually. That's so, Sari raises an eyebrow. Warms my ears to hear you gave that place the laugh, boy. Not much of a watering hole for one who isn't relieving themselves. She sniffs. Too many cobwebs and dusty minds. You don't like the mortuary? Aren't you a dustman? A dustman, I suppose. Sari sniffs. Tish, I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body's almost ready to pay the ferryman. She chuckles, but that's not much mirth in it. Are you afraid of dying? Of course I am, boy. Who isn't? She frowns and glances around. Well, except dustmen. They're not afraid because they've been swallowing so much of their own bat droppings over the decade, they've blinded themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release. It is a release of sorts. If you think this life is a burden, boy, then perhaps. I'm not convinced of that. So, what sparked this crisis of faith? She shrugged. Life, I suppose. She frowns. Never mind. I won't bore you with the niggling details. I'd like to know, actually. Oh, would you? She looks at you skeptically. How old you take me for, boy? Truth. Old. She snorts. Well, you're wrong. I'm really old. Now, I've spent most of my long years teaching dustmen. I've seen many dustmen whelps grow within our order, taught them the ways of the faction, kept the faith, breached the tenets of the faction, she frowns, and so on and so on. No questions, no doubt. This life was merely an antechamber that led to the true death. What happened? Well, a half month back, I went sick with a fever, she sighs. I thought it was the end. It rattled my cage. How? Her face becomes a stone. There's something about having your faction members circle around your deathbed like a pack of pale-faced ghouls, nodding and agreeing that your suffering and dying is all for the best. Oh, Sari is so fortunate. She shall soon be relieved of the burden of life. Burden of life. That's when it struck me. By the way, I just want to state one thing. I actually am much better at seeing that there's a show more button right there, but I definitely want to say either the first or the second thing because that's usually the thing that gets us along in this current branch of the conversation. So I don't even bother clicking show more. Also, my hand is on 1, 2, 3, and that's much faster for me than moving the mouse and clicking show more. So that's the thing. But I am aware that the show more is there. I've learned my lesson, and I think I'm good. Just want to let you guys know that there's something, a Korean expression comes over her features, addled about not appreciating your life. The dustman keeps saying that life is misery and suffering. Is it? That we should be happy to pass on into oblivion. Should we? She shakes her head. Questions, and precious few answers. It doesn't sound like you believe in the dustman philosophy anymore. I suppose I have got a swarm of doubts all buzzing in my skull. She rubs her temples. Hard to get them all to be quiet sometimes. They need to be fed some answers, and I haven't got them all worked out yet. What will you do? To be square, board, I don't know. Sari sighs. That's the problem with doubt. I can't even trust that what I'm feeling is true, or if I'm scared of death only because of my brush with the fever, or even what I should do. Is this a passing thing? I don't know. If you truly believed the dustman philosophy, then your brush with the fever would not have left you with such doubts. I would treat this as a test of your belief. It sounds like these feelings are only temporary. All those years of devotion to the dustman could not have been false. Thirdly, the third option is, at the core of the dustman philosophy is that this life is one of pain. It is a weapon that life uses against the soul to keep it anchored to this existence. Do not let that brush with the fever break your dustman beliefs. So, time will heal these doubts. Difficult to answer. Look, I have some other questions. All three of them say that you should keep your doubt. You should keep being a dustman. Actually, except for the first one, which is the one that I want to say because I don't really believe the dustman philosophy myself. At all. And I'm putting myself into... I'm not really... I am role-playing a bit, but I'm also, like, I don't believe this. 500 experience. She stares at you, then nods slowly. Maybe so, maybe so. She frowns, her face wrinkling up in concentration. I'll have to chew it over some more time. You should, it's no small matter. Now, enough of me rattling on about my woes. She stares at your scars. You look like you've shared a few handshakes with death yourself. Hasn't that changed your views somewhat? Doesn't it make you appreciate life a bit more? Well, my brushes with death are a lot closer than those of other people. I can't seem to die, at least as far as I know. She blinks. You're rattling my coffin. It's true. Strange are the ways of the plains, and I've seen too much to throw any tale out with the wash. Is it true? Why does this happen? I don't know. She seems to think for a moment, then shrugs. Makes two of us then. Most peculiar. Never heard of anything like that. Shame about the memories. Do you have any idea why this happens? Nay, not a one. Never knew anyone who death wouldn't take. Until now. Well, perhaps I could ask some other questions. Crypt crawler. Crypt crawler is a nice word. I didn't crawl out of any crypt. She frowns, her face wrinkling like crumpled parchment. Right then, what coffin did you crawl out of? She mumbles. One of those shoddy splint coffins at Hamry's, most like. Give corpses splinters, I hear. She sniffs. That boy's not been worth a clipped copper since his father died. I didn't crawl out of a coffin. Who is Emery's? Coffin breaker, coffin maker in the lower word. Inherited the shop when his father died. Much the shame of every corpse needing a coffin, crypt, or tombstone in sigil. What happened to his father? Those ears just for show, boy? He died, she mumbles. His son talked him to death, most likely. That boy's tongue doesn't stop rattling. I'm surprised he doesn't shake his head loose from the shoulders. You two sound like you have a lot in common, then. Oh, do us both a favor and latch that bone box of yours, boy. Don't be drawing comments between me and the yapping whelp. Very well. Had some other questions. About some of the Dustmen in particular. No harm in it. Who's on your mind? Can you tell me about awaiting death? That boy has half the sense of a jackass. He actually wants to die, and him so young too. I wish death would rattle his cage, teach him a few things. Mortai. Ha! I thought you were going to ask about a dustman. There's no dustman who's less a dustman than the jink-smacking, bone-box-rattling Lackwit. What do you mean? Mortai's so anxious to impress his betters by getting the most dead contracts signed that I wonder if he'll ever be a dustman. I don't understand. He's eager to get contracts signed. He's concerned about his reputation. He's thinking of his career in the dustman. That alone says it all. I still don't understand. It's said that passions kill. She snorts. Sari snorts. For dustmen, it's the opposite. Passion keeps you alive. And if you can't strip yourself of passion, whether eagerness, greed, or ambition, then you're doomed to never truly die, because life will always hold a piece for you. Emmerich? Stone-faced old fool. I taught him, you know, and I used to hold the man in high regard. Then I woke up. He's a crusty old ghoul that sits here in his off hours to make sure the younger dustmen have a symbol of authority here in this bar. Old vulture. Copper Eyes. Don't know much about that one. He's a strange blood. He never moves from that spot, never eats, never drinks, just waits. Makes me uneasy. Actually, I met Dull. Do you know him? Don't know much about that one. He's a strange blood. Oh, I asked Copper Eyes. Dull. Dull? He was my instructor in the philosophical arts during my early training at the mortuary, and a crusty fool to boot. He's ill, so my ears tell me. I bet he'll be even bore death with his presence. Is he dying? Sicker than a spotted dog. Not much sand left in the hourglass for him. Suego, do you know him? Ivane, do you know her? Oh. I met a guide at the mortuary. That boy used to be a regular around here. Don't know what happened. Could be he was shaken up after his friends died. Explain. One of his friends was killed in the hive a few weeks ago, torn apart by rats. Messy business. Has Suego always been a guide at the mortuary? No, only for the past few months. And last I heard he was sent off some missionary duty, but I don't know where. Show more. Ivane. Who? Strange young woman, poor eyesight, near death, talons for hands. Maybe she's a new initiate. I've never heard of her. Very well. This is just interesting. Forget it. Other questions? About Hamry's, you already did. I'm missing mine. What does it look like? No idea. If you don't know, how do you expect to find it? I had some other questions. Farad, collectors. Okay. All right, so my voice is giving out, and we're well over an hour. So we're going to talk to Norochi, which seems to be a very long talk, because there's so many things, so many people tell me to go talk to him. We're gonna go talk to him pretty soon. What is this? What is this though? Is this like my alignment at the moment? Okay, I did a save, but I do want to press S. Or is it here? Statistics screen. Pre-scroll option, rest party, journal screen. No. Where is my... Oh, it's here. Okay, alignment. Yeah, so the left one is the alignment. The right one I don't know, but I'm still true natural. Neutral. Natural. I mix up neutral and natural when I speak. I always know what I mean, but I screw them up sometimes. Neutral. Okay. Close to level 5. So, thank you so much for watching as usual. And I'll see you guys next time, which will be a normal, will be in the new year. So this is the last one of 2018. That's meaningless, but sure. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.